Siamo a Los Angeles, ancora la città degli angeli, Fast and Furious 7. Siamo qua con la nuova action star hero, Jason Statham. It's been few years that you've been the #1 guy for action movies. How did you develop into, and where did you start as a kid? And when did you know you were going to do this?
I don't know if I'm the #1 action hero. I don't know what. That's just your perception, maybe. You know, my dad was a good boxer. He showed me how to, do somersaults, flips. He was a good gymnast. When I was this big, I could do, back somersaults. And he learned me how to fight a little bit. And then, so I always had a physical sort of upbringing. I did a lot of different sports, did a ton of athletics. I ended up doing high diving.
Tuffatore, si tuffava dal trampolino.
I did a lot of different types of martial arts, judo, jiu-jitsu, Thai boxing. I've done a lot of different things. So this was before I became an actor. So when I did Transporter 1, it was, for me, an opportunity to, maybe use a few skills that I'd learned when I was a kid.
What about the franchise, the Fast and Furious? You're gonna be the bad guy. All'ultima puntata ha detto, stai attento che arrivo. È arrivato, adesso deve sistemare tutti. How did you feel to be the guy that to eliminate one by one these guys?
You know what? It's the only way I could have come in. I can't just be an invitation to join the crew. The end of part 6 was a piece at the end. The fans wanted me to, to be head-to-head with Vin and have a fight with The Rock. So it's generated by a lot of the fans out there that want to see particular things happen. They wrote me a good part. James Wan, the director, is a very smart guy, and he has a lot of great new ideas. And he said, I want to open the movie and introduce Deckard Shaw as this, a guy not to be messed with.
Il mofo, a.k.a. motherfucker, bad guy. Ha menzionato prima Jiu-Jitsu, Taekwondo, tutti questi sport che hanno a che fare con la mitica figura di Bruce Lee. Who is Bruce Lee? Philosophy.
Because he was unique, his philosophies, his expression, physical expression. He could say more without saying anything. He could do so much with his physical expression. It's like everything that he did was like emotional, and a fight is not just two guys hitting each other. It's like, what's the emotion of that fight?
Yes.
And he was the guy that really captured, you could really feel inside what he was doing when he was fighting.
Bruce Lee, defending, Taekwondo. Were you in any situation in which you growing up, you had to kick some ass, shit?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
It's part, I'm not going to dig up and dredge up all the shenanigans that happened, but, it's part of growing up. Yeah. In England, in London, people don't have guns, No. So it's all done with, it's all done with your bare fists, and it's part of growing up.
I totally agree.
But, there's people that don't come out very, they get bad experience, they get an ashtray in the face, or they get a pint glass in the face, and I've got friends that have suffered, bad, scars and then nearly lost an eye. It's very dangerous. So for me, it's better not to be getting into this kind of situation.
Los Angeles home for you, and in which regards? What is it home for you here?
Home for me is London, because that's where I'm from, and that's where I live, and that's where all my people are. I'm out in LA, I work out here, I love the place, I love the people here, I have a fantastic...
Which areas? Where do you move yourself?
I move around, and if you can get to do a movie here, it's even better.
Vi ringraziamo, sono i 5 minuti che abbiamo con Jason, adesso lo salutiamo e andiamo via. Jason, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Sign out.